then you got sheep telling you. Well, no, I mean, think of it this way. This is like the position I find myself in, because as I explained in my last video, the sheep farm analogy part one. This is part two to that video. I explained how planet Earth is a sheep farm. You got the dogs, the Nordics, or the chosen race, working for the shepherd, the aliens that control this planet, that are parasitical by nature, that are the rats, I guess you could say. I mean, the shepherd is the guys they hide behind, the disguise, so to speak. The shepherd is represented by a collective, a hive mind. Rats or cockroaches, something like an insect in nature. I have a hard time calling them rats, because rats to me are and this is a scientific fact, that rats are one of the top 5 animals, I think, that share the most genetics with human beings. Like, chimpanzees are second. Chimpanzees, I think, share like 98-99% of human DNA. And have you ever seen a chimpanzee, like, no hair, shaved completely? It's pretty creepy, because they look almost exactly like a human does, but like a human that's oddly shaped, more so like a monkey, but they have like their arms and their muscles, and it's just really weird, because it's so human-like, looking at a hairless chimpanzee. I've seen a couple pictures of hairless chimpanzees, and that shit would give you nightmares. But anyways, though, yeah, I kind of went off topic there, forgetting what I was gonna say. But yeah, these aliens that control this planet, they're more, I'm gonna say, more like a insect nature, hive mind, parasite. They can't live without humanity. They have to use us in order to survive. It feels like, out in the universe. They can't. We're like a weapon for them in a way. David Icke talks about these aliens lacking that creativity, that creative part of the soul, that creative part of the mind. You give them a sheet of paper and you tell them to draw something or be creative, they wouldn't be able to do it. They don't know how. So they use our creativity instead. So with our psychic potential and our creativity, the psychic potential they gave us in the first place, they can formulate new ideas through us. We're like, I almost want to say we're like the Hellraiser box, for them. We can open up doors to heaven or hell, and if they don't play with the box in a correct way, in a correct manner, then they can open up the gate of hell. We could be free, and then we'll be their Cenobites, But in order for them to not lose control of that box, they have to be our Cenobites in some respect, as well, I think. But anyways, though, in a sense, they have become the wolves. I mean, until we realize that they're not wolves by heart, and not by maybe I wouldn't say by mind either, but in some respect, as long as they keep us ignorant of the fact that we're wolves in sheep's clothing, then in some regard they are wolves. Because if you decide to be a sheep to these parasites, and you just let them parasite off you and eventually destroy you, then in a way you're throwing yourself to the wolves. But as I said, they're not. Only in a sense are they, but at heart and in mind they're not. And then you got but anyways, out of all the sheep in the sheep farm, the first stage, I think the black sheep are the only sheep that have real potential into becoming wolves, into shedding their sheep clothing and being the wolves that they truly are. You'll never have the white sheep that will do it, because the white sheep are just they're too I don't want to say too sheepish, but they're too stuck in their ways. I mean, they're too stuck into the farm mentality, you know. They don't even believe they can survive without the farm, you know. I mean, in some cases, even though there is no fence there keeping these sheep within, you know, keeping these sheep within their matrix, so to speak, within their farm. I mean, so I think a lot of these sheep would be more than happy to have a fence, knowing just how, you know, knowing how some people out there are so dependent upon this system. It reminds me of that Morpheus and that Morpheus quote he said to Neo, you know, you have to understand, Neo, that, you know, some of these people can't be unplugged. They're so inept, so endured into the system that they'll fight to protect it. But anyways, though, those are the white sheep for you. The black sheep are, you know, the potential to become wolves. And you always have that black sheep among the white sheep, telling the white sheep, hey, you need to wake up. You need to wake up and realize that we're being controlled. That the dog and the shepherd, they're working together. And that shiny building out in the distance, that promised land, you can call it hell, you can call it heaven. Spiritual Satanists would call it hell or Dawat. Christians would call it heaven. The Eagles, you know, the band The Eagles, would call it the Hotel California. But, you know, it's not a place where you want to go. And once you're there, you're gonna wish that, you know, you're gonna wish that you would have listened to me, that you would have took this black sheep's advice, and let alone this black sheep should be taking his own advice. But still, you know, you should have listened to that black sheep. Instead, you want to call him crazy. You want to say, bah, he's crazy, bah, stupid conspiracy theorist. But you don't want to acknowledge the points he's making. That, you know, you don't want to leave that comfort zone of you. You don't want to believe that, because you know these dogs and this shepherd, they're giving you this comfortable life, but just, you know, it's too comfortable. I mean, you know, you can't have too much of everything. I mean, you can't have too much of anything. And where has this comfy life gotten you? It's made you stupider. It's made you lazier. It's made you it's made you weak. I mean, we live in a dog eat dog universe. You can't be lazy. You can't be too comfortable. You always have to be on your toes. You always have to look, you know, watch your back, watch your own back, you know, and you can't let your guard down. And these sheep, they'll just because there ain't no fence there, they think they're free, and they're free range, and they don't realize that the fence is within the mind, and by the time they reach that shiny building, heaven, Dawat, Hotel California, whatever you want to call it, they're the doors shut behind them. They see their friends, family being slaughtered right before their eyes, being sheared and eaten, and you know, just like the song Hotel California by the Eagles. Relax, said the night man. We're all programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. We all go into the master's chamber, gathered for the feast. They try to stab the beast with their stealing eyes. They try to stab it with their stealing eyes, but they just can't kill the beast. The beast is he's talking about Satan, but Satan is the god of this world. He is the Lord of the earth. He is Jehovah. Jehovah and Satan are one and the same. There is no God. God is the devil. The devil is God. And Christians and Satanists alike, and you know, people are going to soon find that out once they die. and they're gonna try to stab with their steely knives, but they can't kill the beast because they're not aware of their own psychic potential. They're not aware of the trap that they were born into until it traps, until they're forced to acknowledge that trap. By then, they can't escape it. So, and then they could check out. I mean, I don't want to say they can't escape it, but well, they can't escape it until they check out, and even then, they're still gonna come back to it, and they're gonna continue making that same mistake over and over again. Relax at the night, man. We're all programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like. You can never leave. You're all programmed to be indoctrinated, to receive the information that they want you to have, that will eventually lead you to the Hotel California over and over and over again, never to leave. To reincarnate, you die, reincarnate, die, reincarnate, come right back here again. The white sheep always want to live, always, it comes to mind, she'll listen to that black sheep, but now it's too late. And what does it matter in the end? It doesn't, because they come back here again, forgetting everything you learned in your past life. Same with me, more than likely, and it's a bad business, and people need to wake up to it.